Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on today's video. My name is Annalise and this is my channel where we get planty with it. So I almost completely forgot to film this video because I did not even realize we're at the end of the month, but it does make sense. Halloween is this weekend, so obviously it's that time of the month again where I have to film my monthly favorites video. I'm super excited about my favorites this month and I can't wait to share them with you guys and hopefully hear about some of your favorite plants this month as well down in the comments. Anyways, if that sounds like something that interests you, then definitely stick around. So my first favorite this month is actually not a plant, it's a plant related item that I found. This past weekend, my mom, aunt, and I had a girls weekend in New Jersey and we went antiquing and I found this super cool antique item that I thought would be perfect for my plants. It's this little antique metal bottle holder. I'm not sure what this was like meant to be used for, but I just saw it with these beautiful blue bottles. You can see that blue glass. And I was like, this is perfect for propagations, and it looks like a decor piece. So now I have it on my bar cabinet and it looks super beautiful and my plants are rooting up. I thought this would be a perfect home for my variegated burl marks cuttings. I think I'm actually going to use some of these cuttings for a giveaway I'm going to do on my Instagram. I have about 900 followers right now, so once I hit 1,000, I think I'm definitely going to give away some of these cuttings. So I'm hoping they root up by then so they're nice and rooted for when I mail them. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, definitely give me a follow so you can know when the giveaway is going to happen, which hopefully is in the next month. I think it should be. Okay, moving on to the actual plants. I'm pretty excited about some of them this month, starting with this guy. So I've talked many times about how I've struggled with my Hoya Linearis. This is the current state of it. It's not looking good. I don't even think all of these are, yeah, I mean, this is not even like, oh, and a piece just fell down. So this guy is pretty much dead and I've been trying to, the helicopter? This guy is pretty much dead and I've been trying to revive it for so long, but it really just, this is all it's been for months. I've had this since May and nothing's really happened. So I finally gave in. I think I'm gonna throw this guy out. Sad, but I think it's time. I finally gave in and I got a new Hoya Linearis and I decided to go for a slightly larger one just because I think it'd be easier to acclimate and take care of than starting with a really small, tiny piece. So here she is. Look how long some of those strands are. You can see the top is pretty full in there. She's looking great. So I just got her off Etsy and I'm already obsessed. I love how she looks, especially in this black pot. I don't know, I love the contrast of it. And I'm really hoping that I can keep this one alive because I'll be very sad if I kill two of these guys because I just love how they look. I think they really break up typical hanging foliage. I have it on my hanging shelf that's behind me and there's a lot of, you know, a lot of the foliage on those shelves already looks the same. It's like heartleaf philodendron is my Brazil, but this really breaks it up with a different shape, a different green tone, and I absolutely love it. Plus the leaves are very fuzzy. If you haven't felt one in person, they're super fuzzy. Maybe see the little fuzzies on it. Okay, that is the first one, Hoya Linearis. Moving right along to another new plant I got this month. Here is a beautiful CISSUS Discolor. So when I first saw this plant, I did not like it. I don't know why, I wasn't into it. And then I saw one in person at, I think, Living with Green on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and my friend actually picked one up and I was really jealous and I was like, actually I like it. After seeing it in person, it's way prettier than I thought it was. But she gave me a cutting of hers, which I really appreciated, but for some reason she gave me a few cuttings and most of them died. There's one leaf cutting left and I was also kind of like, I don't want this to be a drawn out 6-month process of getting, you know, to a small plant. So I decided to pull the trigger and get my own full CISSUS Discolor. I mean, look at the foliage here. This is a beautiful leaf. So the front is like stunning and then the back is this like really deep purpley maroon color, which just adds so much to it. And then my favorite part is the stems put out these, I'm guessing they're aerial roots, but they're like literally curly. Can you see that? That is so weird. I don't really know what that's about, but super cool. This guy's all tangled up. I haven't gotten around to untangling him yet because some of the roots have wrapped around stems, holding them together. So I think I'm gonna try to cut them a little bit just so this guy cannot be so tangled up and like look crazy down here. But I do love this plant. I think it's another great hanging plant that's different than the typical hanging plants we see like pothos, heartleaf philodendron, and whatnot. And I don't really have enough purple plants or, you know, different toned plants, so I think this is a great addition to my collection. And the leaves feel super cool. This is this color. Okay, and finally my last new plant this month, arguably my favorite and definitely a wish list plant that I'm super excited about. Here is this little dude. This is a variegated Domesticum cutting that I got from a seller on Instagram. I'll link her Instagram down below because she does sell a lot of really cool and rare plants as well as common plants. And I don't know what happened. A couple weeks ago, I think about 2 weeks ago, I had seen some variegated Domesticum. They had been on my mind for quite a few weeks, and I was like, I think now is the time. I think it's gonna happen. And so I found one that I fell in love with. The variegation on this one is stunning. And the mother plant, what I loved about it is it had this sectoral variegation, but it also has leaves that had more of a marbled variegation. I'll insert a picture of what a mature variegated Domesticum can look like so you can see all the different types of leaf patterns it can have. But I really wanted one with good variegation, and you can tell this guy obviously has great variegation. There's great variegation in the stem, so you can see that side of the stem is yellow, and then there's green on the other side. And so it came as a little cutting, and it is rooting up so well, thank goodness. Those are some rootages. That's some root growth. Those are the roots. And it's just sitting in sphagnum moss right now doing its thing. So I'm super excited about this guy. I really cannot wait to watch it grow. This was a mid-cut from the plant. As you can see, there's the leaf above it was cut from it. So this is a mid-cut, and mid-cuts do take a little bit longer to shoot out a new growth point and start having new growth, but I'm not worried at all because it's rooting up so well. I'm sure in no time it'll be putting out a new growth point. Okay, next up is a plant I think I may have already talked about in last month's video, and I probably talked about way too much, but I swear each leaf it puts out, I'm just stunned by. So this is my pink princess. As you guys know, it came back from a spider mite situation and it's now thriving. But the reason I had to show it in this month's favorite, look at this new leaf. It's basically a half moon leaf, which I've never had on this plant, even if in its previous life. I mean, that's crazy. I don't know what's going on. This plant has like the best variegation, even better than what it was before I had to cut it back and everything. So I was just super excited about how this leaf looks, and I had to show you guys. It better not be a pest on there. I think that's dirt, but now I gotta do a full pest check. No, we're good. But yeah, that is my pink princess. I won't talk about it too much because I talk about it constantly, but I mean, stunning. So next up is a plant I actually got in a plant trade with a friend. I forget what I traded her, but she gave me a long strand of her jade satin Scindapsus, and I ended up cutting it into individual leaf cuttings because I wanted a full basket one day, and it took a while for them to root up, then I potted them up, and then it took a while for them to shoot out growth. But here we are. So most of these are original leaves in the pot, but it did shoot out one new leaf already, and the new leaf is insane. Get ready. This massive guy here, this one here, is a new leaf. I mean, is that not just gorgeous? None of the other leaves on this plant are that big and like that perfect. So I don't know what happened with this one. It's clearly loving where it is. It's in a east facing window. So it's not getting tons and tons of, super bright light, but it seems super happy. So there's this new leaf, and then there's literally so many growth points now because all these leaves were individual node cuttings. So you can see there's 3 growth points right in there that are all gonna probably put out new leaves soon. They're doing really well. So this guy's super happy. Plus, the roots are coming out of the bottom of the pot. I'm not gonna repot yet because I don't think it's time. I think it's really happy in here and I want to fill out a little bit more before I repot it, but I'm just so happy with how it's doing, and I cannot stop looking at this massive new leaf. So staying on the Scindapsus train, next up is the plant I got from Living with Green in the city, and it is a Scindapsus Silver Splash. So you can see the leaves, the silver pattern is very splashy, hence the name, and really beautiful. I think this actually may be my favorite Scindapsus type, or at least the ones I have. I don't have all of them, I only have 3 or 4, so I do love this one. And when I got it, it was already in a basket, but I decided to cut it up because I didn't love how the basket was looking. It was getting kind of leggy, so I cut it up into a lot of single and 2 leaf cuttings, rooted them, and now they're in here. And I decided I wanted this guy to grow up a pole. So I just put it on this pole a week or 2 ago, and it's doing pretty well. I mean, the leaves are looking pretty good. There's tons of new growth on it, as you can see, and I'm just loving how it's looking so far. I can't wait until it starts to adhere to the pole and the leaves get bigger, although the leaves are actually already a decent size. Like this leaf is bigger than the previous leaf on that stem, so it seems pretty happy. But I'm just been loving how this one's been looking. Just can't wait to see where this plant is in like 3 months, 6 months. Hopefully there's gonna be another pole attached to it and it's just thriving. So we'll see, stay tuned for updates. Okay, and last but definitely not least, I had to include a Hoya because how could I not? And the Hoya I'm including this month is my Hoya Parasitica Splash. Here she is. just because she's been putting out so much new growth. So these top 2 leaves are new, and just look. I don't know if it really fully comes across on camera, but she's been pretty close to a grow light. And these new leaves, the splashiness is coming out kind of with a pink tone. It's really a light baby pink. It's hard to maybe see on camera. You can tell it's different when you see it compared to the other leaves where the variegation has faded down to white. So I've just been loving this guy. And by the way, as it was shooting out these top 2 leaves, it also shot down another one out here. It also shot out another one down here, which I did not expect. And so it was doing kind of 3 leaves at once, which is crazy. You can see there's this long tendril, and it decided to branch off as well here. So I'm just so excited to see where this plant goes. Let's do a root check. Yeah, I mean, it's not even crazily rooted for how well it's growing, but I guess it's happy in LECA. It's so low maintenance having all my Hoya in LECA. I don't have to worry about them, and they've all been just doing insane. If you want to see like more overall Hoya updates, definitely check out my greenhouse cabinet update, because that's the cabinet that all of my Hoya live in, and I went through every single one of them and how they've been growing. And I think this guy in that video maybe was putting out this leaf, and it was really small, so this is how it's doing now. I absolutely just love this plant. So that is it for my October favorites. This has been such a fun month in the plant community. I love seeing all the spooky content people have been putting out. I definitely did not put out as much Halloween or spooky related content as I wanted to. It definitely takes a lot more like planning and thinking and time than I really have at the moment. But next year, I'm gonna gear up way earlier and get ready for spooky content. And this year with the holiday season coming up, I'm hoping to have some kind of holiday themed plant videos. So if you have any ideas for any sort of holiday themed plant video, definitely comment down below, or feel free to DM me on Instagram. I always respond, I promise. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. I really want to hit 1,000 subscribers soon so I can do another giveaway separate from my Instagram giveaway, but a YouTube giveaway. So yes, definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.